Let's talk about Simon Yates. Can he learn from the Giro experience, not go out too hard in the first week?
Well, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he's learnt a lot from that Giro. I mean, it was punishing for him really, especially in that third week. But he's already lost a bit of time today, so I kind of question and wondering whether he's quite at that form he was early in the year. He was particularly good form in May. I don't think we've ever seen him in that kind of form. And it's whether he can repeat that 2 times in a year, I think, especially at that young age. So remains to be seen. There's time to get into this race. But, the early signs are not great for Simon, as he normally comes out the blocks, firing like a greyhound. So I think it remains to be seen, but it's not over for him. I think there's certainly a top 10 performance in him. There might be stage wins in him. I don't know how Adam is after the Tour. So, we have to see. We have to see how the race pans out. But again, as we said, a start like they've had the first 2 or 3 days of this race, there's no time to ride yourself in. It's straight in, and it's going to show any weakness straight away. But there is time to claw that back.
How do you see it going, Tony, for them?
Well, looking at Adam Yates, he lost another 8 seconds today after what he lost in the prologue, which puts him, I wouldn't say out of contention, because as Brad said, you can bring back a whole lot of time gaps, but it's you wouldn't have expected him to lose 8 seconds today. If he wants to be there overall, he needs to be up the front. He needs to be fighting. He needs to be showing himself as a overall contender. And 29-second loss in the time trial. You've got to look at it and say every day you're losing 8 seconds, 29 seconds, whatever it is. It all adds up, and all of a sudden you find yourself 5 minutes down. And we said, he's only young. He's 26. It's not that they're not that young anymore. They're getting to that stage where they're going to have to step up and really deliver. What's Geraint, 30?
30, yeah.
So they're getting to that age where you can't say they're young anymore. They are going to have to start bringing it home.
Yeah, I just think that also the Vuelta, as we said, this first 3 days with the prologue, I mean, there's no time to get into it and just kind of feel things out. The heat is an issue in the Vuelta like no other race. The Giro is a lot cooler. You have cooler conditions, rain, everything else to contend with. But Valverde's took he's took the jump on them all, in the sense that he thrives in those conditions, and anyone's weaknesses at this stage, at the early stages of the Vuelta, they're going to capitalise on, really. And it's whether they can ever claw that back on him again over the next 3 weeks. I mean, Valverde looks to me, if he started that well, I have to put him down as one of the favourites now going into the next 3 weeks, because it's very rare we see him like that these days. He's always there or thereabouts, but to be right on it on a finish as tough as that shows he's probably ridden himself through that Tour de France, and saw him really struggling at times in the Tour this year, and that could be just that icing on the cake that he needed to come into this Vuelta in top form. So.
And Movistar talk about splitting the leadership, don't they, between Quintana
and Valverde?
Yeah. Have we seen today that actually one of them is much stronger than the other?
I think at the Tour we saw that the triple threat that they put together at the Tour didn't work for them. So they've gone for the double-pronged attack in the Vuelta. And Quintana, he's great, and he's been up there in the Tours, and he's won the Vuelta before. He's got to step up as well, I think. He's
inconsistent, isn't he, with him? We never really know where he's going to be at. I mean, we saw him in the Tour win that stage, and then obviously he crashed and lost time after that. But he'd lost time before that on Alpe d'Huez when he'd attacked and then got dropped. So you just never know with Quintana.